Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to talk about something that is very prevalent in today's society, especially with social media. We are very visual, and if we were visual creatures before, we're extremely visual creatures now because we have access to so much, just so many images bombarding us day by day by day. And so we begin to compare ourselves, and I say we because I'm guilty of it as well. We begin to kind of develop a complex about ourselves and develop low self-esteem and not as secure in ourselves as we normally would be. And not just even with social media, but just being in school. I know that growing up, I kind of fluctuated, and that's because I moved around a lot. Some school years, I would be very popular, very social, very, you know, just really thriving. And then other years in school, I felt like an outcast. I was teased. I stayed to myself, didn't have really many friends. And so it just kind of really played with my self-esteem with not being stable in my home life. So they kind of carried over into my social life. As much as a social life you could have at that age. I was confident in certain areas of my life, but I've never been skinny. I mean, I've been skinny-ish, but not like totally skinny ever. As I've gotten older, I've become more comfortable with myself, and I am making strides to become healthy. But when I was younger, I was definitely self-conscious about my weight. I was definitely aware of my weight, and because I didn't have sisters, I didn't grow up undressing around a bunch of women. So that would kind of carry over into my friendships. So we'll go to sleepovers and everyone's getting out their clothes, and I'm just like like trying to cover up. We go to different swimming pools and to go swimming, and I would never wear a bathing suit by itself. I would always wear a big baggy t-shirt over my swimsuit, and I kind of got that from my aunts, and my aunts were skinny. Part of it was because we were raised Pentecostal, so my grandmother really didn't believe in us having all our goods out, even when you're going swimming. Black people, we don't really, our bodies are so sexualized, so it's almost kind of like taboo for us to kind of wear our swimsuits proudly. It all just goes back to you being comfortable and you learning and growing and developing self-confidence about yourself. It's not something that happens overnight. It's not even something that happens when you become an adult and you have this aha moment like, oh, I'm self-confident now, so I can do this and I can do that. No, that is very important, not only just for females but for males as well. We kind of direct self-confidence more towards females, but I actually believe that if we would instill in our young boys the value of themselves and to have self-confidence and to express themselves, and you know, if they're feeling a type of way, that they're okay to express that, because so many males have all of this repressed emotion and they seem emotionless, but they're not. They're just as sensitive as we are. We're allowed to express ourselves way more than men are. So I think they grow up being hoish, this I'm a man, I'm macho, I'm blah 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 blah, because they're trying to overcompensate for feeling not up to par, or their self-esteem just isn't there. There are a lot of men that seem extremely confident on the outside, but they are so insecure on the inside. They're just as insecure as us women are, which is crazy. But if you really think about it and think of the little nuances and just really study the men in your life, study your brother, study your father, study your boyfriend, whoever. I had a family member say to me just the other day, I was telling her that you know, maybe this year I'll meet my mister, you know, maybe I'll meet him this year. And she says to me, well, yeah, when you become Niecy again, yeah, you'll definitely meet him. And I'm like, what is that supposed to mean? She says to me, that you were so beautiful when you left Mississippi and moved to Maryland. You know, you were such just a lovely young woman. Keyword was, if you want a real man, you're gonna have to go back to being how you were. You're gonna have to. And I was like, wait a minute. You're telling me that I'm not going to meet my Mr. or my husband because I cut my hair off? Really? Oh, okay. I said, you know what? I'm gonna let you have that because you're a family member and I love you dearly. And I've had guys date me and say the reason they're dating me is because I'm light-skinned, or you know, I want all my women to be light-skinned, long hair. I know that dark-skinned women get more flack because of their skin tone. I understand that. I'm not going to pretend like the light skin thing isn't a thing. I'm not gonna do that. But that does make us feel some type of way. It makes us feel like property. It makes us feel like we're just a trophy. It makes us feel like, it doesn't make us feel like we're actually wanted because of who we are, but because of what we look like. It makes all of us light bones, yellow bones, it makes us feel like chattel. And when you're young, you're like, oh, okay, you don't really know any better. You don't know, you're not aware to tell the young gentleman or the young boy that, hey, you're not gonna date me because, I mean, yes, you have preferences, but it's just like a dude dating you just because you have a big old butt. Just because you have a big old butt, or just because of whatever your physical feature. Yes, that's what attracted you to me in the first place. That shouldn't be what's keeping you with me, just because of what I look like, because my looks are gonna wane, your looks are gonna wane, and we're gonna be left with what we are on the inside. So don't come, I don't want anything unauthentic. I don't want to be with you because you don't want your babies to be dark skinned. That is where self-confidence comes in, is when you start realizing those things and you become self-aware of the ignorance, or not even the ignorance, but just of the simplicity of others' minds. That family member who trashed me about my hair, she was not confident in herself. She has always had short hair. This is just an assumption because I know her personally. I'm just thinking that since she couldn't do it, she's like, oh my gosh, if I had that hair, I would not be cutting it off. Well, great for you. I feel you. I understand. I'm not your mother. I'm not your father. I'm not responsible for any of your genetics. I'm not responsible for anything going on physically or emotionally or mentally with you. So don't throw that back on me. I understand what you're saying. We always want what we don't have. I wanted to be wealthy or well off growing up, and I have a bunch of friends who are well off with both of their parents. I can't put that on them saying, well, you should just appreciate your parents more because I didn't have both my parents growing up. So that's not their problem. We make our problems other people's problems, and we project that on other people, and that comes from not being grateful for where you are, because those people who have their parents in their household, they could very well have gone through hell in their household. I don't know that. So I can't project that onto them. And that kind of ties into this whole social media thing. Yes, do I wish I was doing better? Absolutely. Do I wish I was on top of everything? Absolutely. But I am where I am, and they are where they are. I don't know what road they took to get to where they are. You know what I'm saying? That happens a lot. We compare ourselves. Like, why don't I have these many views? Why don't I have this many likes on my photos on my Instagram? Or why don't I get any likes on my Facebook posts? No one's life, no one's story, no one's journey is the same. No one's connection is the same. So it's a slow building process, and you have to be grateful for where you are. I just think that having self-confidence comes with a piece, for me, with knowing who I am and whose I am. God made me absolutely beautiful. He thought of me enough to say, I want to create Anissa Lamara Mitchell. I want to create her. You're not where you want to be, or there's some type of way that you want to improve about yourself, whether it's the way you look, whether it's the way you think, whether it's your ability to retain information for school. It could be a number of things, but it all starts with your mind and being self-aware of how you think of yourself and being aware of those around you, and sometimes unaware of those around you, because you have to focus on who God wants you to be and who you want to be for yourself, because He knows the desires of your heart. It's definitely easier said than done, but coming from a place of being the fat girl in the family, coming from the place of, you know, having this thick ruly hair, or coming from the place of having eczema, and I'm like, you know what? No, I don't have the most perfect skin. Yes, I have eczema. Yes, I have allergies and will break out in hives or whatever type of skin issue there can ever be. I'm going to be grateful because it can always be worse. I know that's so cliche, but it's so very true. Love who you are, man. So that is my spiel, guys, about self-confidence and all that good stuff. I hope that you guys enjoyed this post. So until next time, I will see you guys later.